Okay, this is a 4.7 inch quick firing naval gun. There was originally a 64 pounder gun in this location, but it was changed to the 4.7 inch from 1941. And doesn't say the range that it had, but it was inside this reinforced concrete, overhead protection. This is the gun itself. From where I'm standing, this is what it would have been looking out there. And it's out there beyond the ship. That's the mouth of the Brisbane River. Brisbane Airport's just over there, international and domestic. That's the remaining firing 64 pounders. They're still in firing condition, those ones. They use those for firing salutes to decommissioned naval ships and new ones. Here's another little something up here, probably a optic or something like that. So you can sort of see with the people down there the cover that was provided, but you know, also remember that this fort was designed in the 1880s. It was a high-tech, very high-tech, advanced fort for its time. Also taking into consideration that the colony of Queensland back then was quite a small population, and it was actually built, I believe, for the threat of attack by Russians. Okay, this is the engine room, obviously. Assuming there would have been generators in here to supply the power for the fort. Okay, here's one of the ammunition magazines, storage areas. Just a little display. We'll go around here and there's something else. Okay, it says Cordite magazine. So you can see some scales, 64 pounder case shot. So you might be able to see in there, but that looks like 60 caliber-ish sort of balls. That fills that little tin. That would have been the canister shot for any troops that landed on and made a frontal attack on the base itself. So there's obviously reproduction projectiles and shells of other descriptions. I don't think the powder would have been kept in here. However, it did say Cordite magazine, so maybe it was. So it looks like a lot of the loading was probably performed here. The bare ingredients would have been shipped here and they would have assembled it. Actually, you can see a lot better looking through the camera than you can actually see by looking through the window. Interesting. And that's the well where they would have got the water for the fort with modern drainage. So we've just exited the fort, and we came here quite a long time ago during one of the big droughts that we had. It was about 9 or 10 years into the drought, and this thing was basically empty of water. We actually came across a couple of old bottles, so I went down and retrieved a couple of really old bottles out of here. Where these people are over here, there's a couple of models of the mines, but they're obviously sitting there talking, so I won't really go over there at the moment, but anyway, that's it. Okay, over here is the entrance to the observation tunnel, but all this part of the fort is closed and we couldn't get access to it, unfortunately. Okay, so this is the volatile yarn, the gun cotton store. These are the remains of the 1884 wet gun cotton store, used as an explosive in submarine mines. Wet gun cotton was made by soaking cotton waste into a mixture of strong nitric and sulfuric acid. Blah 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 blah. Submarine mining ceased at Fort Lytton in 1908, and the mining apparatus and gun cotton were removed. The store was later used as a magazine for ammunition. Okay, so this is where we've got the two 64-pounder guns, and they are on turntables. You can see that one there's fully depressed. Obviously you're going to clip the top of the mound if you were to fire on that angle. But yeah, it shows that they can be fully depressed and elevated. That one's sitting high. And yeah, there's the wheels that they rotate on. So we'll go back to here. So this is it firing some blanks. Blank firing charge from the 64-pounder during the reenactment event in the early 1990s. What's it say? These rifled muzzle loading guns fired a projectile weighing 64 pounds, 29 kilos, up to a distance of 13,123 feet or 4 kilometers. These were part of the original 1881 armament installed inside the fort, positioned here in 1892 for training purposes. The guns were additional cover for the submarine mines laid across the river during wartime. I believe that's World War One. Reportedly last fired in 1906. The guns were removed to the Wynnum foreshore. A community project restored the two guns and their carriages and returned them to the fort as it became a national park in 1989.